Hello, this is Cyber Dragon. Today I'm going to talk about evaluating emerging technology, which is a capstone class, which you can is like your final class if you want to major in cybersecurity management or cybersecurity networking. So pretty much overview, it's pretty much just definition of technology is the practical application of scientific knowledge which results in a tool, process, or algorithm which solves a problem or can be used to solve a problem. So example of some technology will be like nano imprinting, nano machines, neurofilament, computer chips. And then how do you improve your cybersecurity? Very simple. First, identify the risk and when the probability of occurrence for a risk event is reduced. Second, how to reduce the risk to recover the cost for cleaning up and clean up after a risk can be reduced. So what you can lose if your company gets hacked, you lose confidentiality, which is like documents, PII, personal identifiable information of clients, customers, and employees. Integrity is when you lose the customers trust you to keep their information safe, but you didn't properly put the proper security tools to like keep it protected, like update your malware, antivirus software, update web applications, and the mobile apps and everything. The loss of availability is when people, or when you lose like information online, they don't have, and your website's down because of a virus or zombot or bots. People can't access the website to check their information, update information, or collect their benefits. If it was just like insurance company, non-repudiation and authenticity. So pretty much you lose a lot of businesses and contracts and customers. So what you gotta do is implement a security plan in place for cybersecurity and keep all your information secure. If you don't, you'll lose customers in the long run. You'll get lawsuits, kind of like let's say, a lawsuit in like MGM got a lawsuit when like customer information was stolen, Chase Bank and a bunch of other institutes. The probability of risk investment can reduce by implementing security controls. So there's some security controls you can implement, like access control, awareness and training. Okay, access control is pretty much like, okay, who gets access? So it'll be like the first line, second, third. So system admin has full access. Regular employees have access just to files to complete the project, what they got to do for a job. Supervisor got the access to just like assign employees roles and tasks. Manager controls like the scheduling, the finance, all that. Audit and accountability, security assessment, authorization, configuration management. Configuration management is what tools you put in place in access. You can like limit the amount of access so people can like get to a certain document. If they need access to a certain document to complete the project, they must elevate it to the next person to request it, and they'll give you either temporary access or they need to ask someone more above them. Contingency plan is like what plans you have in place in case of a incident. Like let's say you just got like hacked like 3 days ago. What place have you put in place what to do when you get hacked? Like the name, the person who reported, what type of equipment, was it computer, hardware, server, and what time, what'd you do and how was it remediated, and you got to report it up to your manager, and your manager moves it all the way up to the chief technology officer. Identification and authentication. Okay, so pretty much, let's say someone's walking straight to your building. The only way they can get in is they have to go customer service and request like a guest pass or something. But if it's like a tech company, you'll have to have an employee badge so you can scan, and there'll be like 2 security guards. Authentication is okay to prove who you say you are. Like after you already got all the proper identification. Now when you want to go to computer, you just sign in with the password that you have to create. The system admin will give you like a 30-day, like a 14-day temporary password. All you gotta do is change it, and then it'll be 2-factor authentication. So it could be like just a password and a passcode, or a password and a thumbprint, or retina scan, depend on what type of document. Incident response, what to do when an incident happens. Media protection, how do you dispose of like certain stuff? Like let's say like you burn, the company tell you to go burn CD, how would you properly dispose of it? So it pretty much is like break it in half, shred it. Physical and environmental protection, planning, personal security, risk assessment, system and services acquisition, system and communication protection, system and information integrity, and program management. The recommended process and actions are as follows. Prepare is to execute risk. Prepare, categorize, select, implement, access, authorize, and monitor. And you use the National Institute of Science and Technology Cybersecurity Framework: identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. This, you'll see that in cybersecurity a lot, so always remember how to do it. Okay, identify what happened, what you're protecting. Okay, computer server information, how you detect it, intrusion detection device. Okay, respond, how do you respond? Like, who are you going to report to? Get the proper documentation down. And recover, how are you going to recover? What's the end plan? And then, because they'll pretty much like tell you, if you have a cybersecurity framework in place, then like researchers, inventors, investors, and cybersecurity analysts will be able to, when considering how does this benefit us, are you going to support or improve cybersecurity and cyber defense? And pretty much like how technology is developed and created, like the process, let's say, like research and development, how's the funding, operations, small or big? Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from investors, government programs, corporate funding? And when technology transfers, is like, before it was like in the prototype, now it's like in the development state, from prototype to an actual product, and how is it commercialized for all businesses. Like let's say you created a calculator. Okay, how you gonna, what, so once you create it, let's say what makes it different, how are you solving a problem, and then how to improve it over time. And the technology development life cycle will have like 5 basic stages: basic research, proof of concept or invention, early stage technology development, product development, product and production, and marketing. First, you gotta research what type of technology you're doing. Proof, how is this technology gonna help to solve a problem? And then the early stage of technology development is like come up with a prototype, and then you have to develop to figure out the flaws, and then make it better, and then you have a product to sell. And then you'll do like crowdfunding to get funding or investors to invest. So example is like in Shark Tank, you can pretty much get investments, you got to pitch your product. So if they understand from your research, the proof of concept, what are you solving, and you got a prototype and now it's in the production, and they'll pretty much know how many sales cost to make. And then marketing, how are you gonna market it? Are you marketing through online, social media, on your website, brick and mortar, or word of mouth? So the next part, this is like a diagram that I'll tell you from like how through each stage goes through. From, let's say, for basic research will be National Institute, corporate research, proof of concept, you got angels investors, corporation, technology labs, early stage development. That'll consist of like total of 3 venture capital. Will be at product development, production and marketing, venture capital, corporate venture funds, and emerging technology. What is emerging technology? It refers to the transition between stages in the technology life cycle. Like how the product matures from the beginning, like from a basic research to the prototype, and how it solves problems and what features will potential in the future to make it easier for the consumer. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with anyone if they want to get into the cybersecurity major, because it is big and it has many forms. So pretty much choose what you like to do. You can be a pen tester. What you just attack softwares, program, learning how to attack and how to defend. Yeah, I hope to see you guys again next time. Goodbye.